We all know I like cameras and I like dash cameras, and I've been going through a lot of dash cameras lately, testing them out, trying them, see how they are, quality versus price, all this kind of stuff, especially ones that are, you know, in and around the $100 mark or maybe a little less. So we picked up this one. It's a 4K. So this is the first 4K cam that we've got for the car. 4K dash cam, and that's coming up. Alright guys, so here it is by Toguard. Toguard, monitor what you're concerned. Monitor what you concern. So not from North America would be my guess. Dash camera, 4K Ultra HD. GPS logger, so it's got a GPS in it, which is cool. Wi-Fi connection, parking monitor. This is model CE55. Anything on the back? Not really. Dash camera, 4K, 170 degree wide angle. That's alright, that's good. We like wide angles. The other thing to be aware of too, and I'm just going to talk about this while I open it, is that if you are on Windows, which sadly I won't be able to show you guys, it has its own software, and that software allows you to actually view the map and the location on it, which is actually really cool. I wish they had that for the Mac side, but it doesn't seem like they do. So I am just out of luck. But if they do come up with it, hopefully they'll let me know, because I'd like to try it out. Anyway, first off, we're going to see what's in this box. Then we're going to take it out today, do a nice daytime drive. We'll also take it out at night, see what it's like in the night time when the light is going down, because that's kind of important. But 4K should give us hopefully some good resolution. This does come in around $120 right now at the time of recording this video. There was a $20 off promo code on the site. Now that doesn't mean it's going to be there when you guys are watching this, but as of now it is. So that's kind of cool. Go get it if you're interested. Anyways, here we go. So this is the camera. I'm just going to snug this over here because I want to see what else is in the box. We should have some mounting options, I would think. So here is our GPS right here. This is our GPS. Cool. What does it say? Apply the sticker to top of windshield. Yep, that's fair. We have a 12 volt cigarette lighter, USB. It's dual. That's nice. I like the fact that they give you a dual. We have this here, which is another. This is a mini. Nope. Yes, mini USB. And we have the piece here for you to install all your cables, which includes the little pry thing to get your cables inside the little gaps in your car, plus the little sticky things to put your cables in. We have a 3M mount plate for it, so you can stick this on your window. And we have, my guess would be one for the physical GPS, which is also good. Last but not least, we have a support email address, which is fantastic. And we have, what is this? Oh, you get a little sticker if you want. Put it on your window, right? And it says Dashcam recording. It's a little warning for people to be like, oh, because not that I see this happening in North America very much, but in, you know, I see it especially on videos, YouTube videos, of people that are intentionally trying to run into cars, like backing into them or throwing themselves on or getting their bikes in front. And they're just like, oh, I've been recorded. So if you have some kind of outside visual warning, they won't do it, at least with your car. Last but not least, though, here is a manual. So very cool. This is good size writing, which I am always happy about. So we have excellent size manual, so you guys get props for that. Everything looks very easy to read. This whole thing, I would say, yep, whole thing is in English, so it's a good size manual. Sit down, grab yourself a little soda, a little coffee, give yourself a peruse through here. I think it's all right. Nothing wrong with that. We're going to take this out to the car now, and I'm going to go for a little drive, and it's primarily for you guys so that you can see what the quality is. This is 4K, right? Actually, I haven't even shown you the camera. Idiot! Okay, so here we go. This is the camera here. So it would mount. Well, this has this, like its own mount. That's kind of neat. So you kind of just stick this on your windshield, and then this piece here has the ability to maneuver up and down. I think it says about, I can't remember if it says 40 degrees. I think it is about 40 degrees. That's kind of all right, as long as your windshield is kind of in that position. And then you get a little, it's about a 2-inch screen on the back with a bunch of touch buttons so that you can go through and give this a good look-see. Now I also think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think this can produce its own Wi-Fi signal as well. So I'm going to take a look, because I think, and I may be wrong, when we get out in the car I'll tell you more, that if this has a Wi-Fi, we can connect it with our smartphone and possibly play with the settings or look at what it's recording, I guess. That's also what you can do. All right, let's go do that right now. All right, guys, we're out in the car. We're going for a ride now. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. I got the GPS set up. It's actually behind my camera, so it may be a little hard for you guys to see it, but it's there. It's not a permanent fixture by any means in my car, but we're out here. It's around dinner time, I guess now, so just be aware it's a little bumpy here. So it is what it is. I'll be switching between the cameras. Hopefully it's not completely shaky. It may be though, but suck it up. All right, so really what we're gonna be doing is talking about the footage. So we're gonna record the footage. I'm gonna try to do this and talk not as much through this part because, well, for one, it's hot outside and I can't have the air conditioner on while I'm doing this. So we're gonna go out for 2 rides, this one here, and one later on when it gets a bit dark out. So we'll do that as well. But number one, first thing to talk about is memory cards. So just so you guys are aware, I went through 3 memory cards and was getting nothing but error messages, and I couldn't figure out why. And it would go into the card, I'd format it, it would go in, seemed like everything should be fine, and then I'd take the card out, put it in my computer so I could take a look at the footage, and it would come up and say, please initialize card. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Card should be initialized. It was recording. So my first concern was, I'm not too sure what's going on. I was putting 64 gig cards in and I was thinking maybe it was a capacity issue, but I finally got the card to work, all the cards to work, and it was because it doesn't look like this is compatible with exFAT format. So if you are formatting in exFAT, the card won't be able to be written to. So make sure that you are formatting as just a standard FAT or FAT32, and everything seems to be fine. So that was issue number 1, and it's fixed. So I was, like I said, a little concerned. The other thing in the manual is they talk a lot about the up or down arrows, and you really don't have an arrow that really points up or down. You have one that points right and one that points left. So the one that's left is the up, so just to be aware, and it would be the one that would go up through the menu. So I get what they're saying, but really it's the left arrow. So anytime they tell you to hold, so for instance, Wi-Fi, yes, this does have the ability to connect to Wi-Fi. You just need their app, and you can go in the app to turn the feature on, the Wi-Fi on, or you can push, and it says push and hold the up button, and I'm like, there is no up button, it's the left button. So left, just be aware of that. So that's good stuff to know. In regards to the app, I'll just give you a little screenshot here of the app while we're driving. Played around with the app. It seems simple enough. You connect your phone to the Dashcam's Wi-Fi, which you enable, like I said before, and then at that point in time, you have the ability to go in and play around with your settings. If you have the ability to set it up to record video, to go in and take pictures, to play back your media, etc., etc. But it's nice. For me, the biggest thing there, and it's not that I'm going to be using it to really look at, but for one, it's good to make sure that you've got your camera framed and your shot composed properly. But there are some actually neat features on there, like there's a time-lapse feature, and not that that would be a necessary, like a safety dash cam style feature, But for someone that's just shooting stuff to shoot it almost like a GoPro, then maybe you want that phone control to be able to do that. So that could be very useful as well. Yeah, other than that, the app seems very solid. Didn't crash on me, didn't do anything like that. The only issue I had was getting the Wi-Fi to turn on because of the fact that I didn't know which button to hit. So partially the manual, partially me, I guess. I'll take part of the blame, but that's all right. Other than that, we're gonna look at the quality of this footage. So I'm gonna let this run for a little bit, and then I'll bring the car out again later on tonight so that we can take a look at how this performs in the dark. So I think that's also really good for us to know about. Yes? All right. Let's continue forward. Oh yeah, while I'm driving, what other kind of cool thing? One of the things that I read in the manual was them talking about, you know, taking the camera out of the car to be able to, you know, especially if it got hot outside or just that removing. So it is really simple to kind of slide it back and pull it off of its mount. So in that regards, it's really simple. It's a small dash cam, so it's no issue you storing this in your pocket, you know, so taking it out and being like, cool, where do I put this now? Boom, right in your front pocket, right in your backpack, right in your whatever. You should be no issues at all. It's super tiny. And this way too, you know, big thing for me is a lot of times I like to take the card into the house to be able to dump the footage, but I don't like having to just carry the little card around. So now I can just take the dash cam right out of the car, take it into the house and do the footage, which is cool. The other thing too is that the dash cam has a little bit of battery. I don't know how much, it's definitely not a lot, but it definitely has some, which allows it to run a little bit without power because it's got its own. So I was playing around with a lot of the settings in the house just to make sure I knew what I was doing before I came out here, and it was running on its own battery. Now I don't think it has a lot, so enough to kind of get your settings set and you're good to go. But when you're charging it, you can play around with your settings and you can actually record and all kinds of stuff. It actually comes up in the menu and says, do you want to set this up as like a PC cam, or are you recharging, or do you want to set it up as storage? So a lot of cool little menu options in there. Kind of dig yourself around. We're shooting in 4K. Be aware, this one is 4K 25, so it's not a, you know, North American standard frame rate, right? We shoot in 24 and 30 and 60, whereas this was 25 and 30. So you can do 2.7 and 30, which is still good, but I wanted to do this for you guys in 4K. So this is 4K 25, which is fine because I'm going to be editing this in a 4K 24p timeline. So that's it. Okay, that's it for now. Done talking. I'll be back tonight, later on, when it starts. All right, so we're going out for round 2, and it's not like midnight dark out. It is dark though, and I wanted to go out in this kind of condition because really there's no camera out there that I've tried that can perform really well when it's like dark, you know. So this is kind of that time of night that we want our cam to at least be somewhat decent. So my hope is, like most things, that because it's shooting in 25p or 25 frames per second, that could actually be helpful, because since it's shooting at a lower frame rate, it allows the actual lens to stay open a little longer each time. So the hope is that will help. So right now it's about 9:30 at night, and of course the sun is down, but you know, my camera is actually doing fairly well, my iPhone right here, but definitely nighttime. We're just gonna cruise around the block a little bit so you guys can see what this is like. to cyclists like that, you know, you can tell that they're not quite the most stable, and they're kind of like, hey, I'm not really sure how to stay close to the curb very much. That's always awesome. Always awesome. All right, we'll come down here. We can get a little bit of a blast of speed. Not that that's that important. So yeah, so I looked at the daytime footage. It looks good, you know, no real complaints. I think that the quality is fairly decent. It is recording, which is a huge plus, because as I had stated before, the format of your memory card makes all the difference. So it has to be in a standard FAT format. It can't be in a FAT EX, or if you're on a Mac, it can't be in an HFS. It can't be in an NTFS. FAT, just FAT. Now, does it accept large cards? That I don't know, because actually currently right now I've got like a 16 gig card in there. So I know it should do up to 32, but honestly, I'm not 100% sure if she'll take anything bigger than that. So I'm following behind a car here, so the real question is really like license plate reading. Are you reading that all right? Feel bad for this guy because I'm using him as a subject of, can you read his license plate? 4K, right? So 4K should have no problems unless it's a little on the grainy side. I can see it just fine. Anyway, that's a good test, I think, for us right there, is this guy. I'm gonna turn this camera off, and we'll see you back at the house. I'm gonna head home because, again, hot, no air conditioning, because I'm trying to keep the volume down for you guys so that it's not annoying. All right, guys, I will see you back at the house. All right, so we're back, and I've taken a look at the footage, daytime, nighttime.
Nighttime. Daytime!
It's good, 4K. It records in 4K. It's 38, whatever it is, 3840 by 21 something. I can't remember. It's 4K. It's recording in 4K. I was a little concerned with that, because a lot of cameras that say 4K, you're like, meh, it's not really 4K. No, it's 4K. It's a 4K camera. Wish I knew what size the actual sensor was, just to verify that it's not being up-res, but the quality looks good. There's no real complaints. Definitely looks a little better than some of my 1080 ones, for sure. The one thing I did like is the GPS was doing its job. If you look in the bottom left-hand corner where the timestamp was, you could also see how fast I was traveling. And that is a setting that you can set for if it's going to be in miles per hour or kilometers per hour. Of course, here in Canada, it's kilometers, so that was set. So yeah, I think it's a great little GPS. If I were to be mounting it permanently, I probably would have tucked it up closer to right behind my mirror so it's a little less visible, because it's a nice size for just kind of hiding back there. And if you tucked in your cables, I don't think you'd even notice it at all. So that's kind of nice. Easy to detach and bring with you back into the house, or like I said, just take it with you when you're parking your car somewhere, so that's also really good. And 120 bucks. And possibility of a discount code if it's down there, which is also awesome. So anyways, the footage is there for you. If you think it's good, then hey, go get it. There's a link down below for you. And that's always awesome if you use those to go grab your gear, because it helps us here. And that's all. I think it's a good cam. First 4K. Maybe some more coming down the road. Who knows? 4K is a big thing now. All right, my friends, I'm going to leave you there. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And remember, YouTube, right, has some video compression. So it's a little better that what I see than probably what you're seeing. Just be aware. All right, guys. Again, like, comment, share, subscribe. Link down below. We'll see you in the next video. Later, my friends.